Yes, it's working. Got some battery back. Last one stopped halfway, so let's try again. This video is entitled Carrying the Cross. What is going on with these statues? A continuation of is part 11, based on, again, these are the hammers. But the hammers, you see, they're also crosses. A hammer is a cross. And the cross, if we can prove the cross is Thor, then this can start to explain some of the symbolism we see in Gobeckli Tep, where the hammer is the god. It is the god Janus, but it's also the god Thor, who is being represented as a hammer, or at least a common ancestor of both. So there are amulets. I'm not quite sure what that amulet is there. There's another one here. Now that one may or may not be a double-sided hammer, or it's almost like the French symbol of fleur-de-lis or something. That's an interesting amulet on that one. But here's the problem. The hammer of Thor, which is the letter T, the TU letter, was used as a surrogate Christian cross. When Christianity spread to Scandinavia, etc., the Viking lands, suddenly they started mass producing these and started wearing them. And they said, oh, okay, this means God. This means the one God. This means Christ Jesus, the cross to Jesus. That's it. That's how it looks, like a bird spitting out a T-shaped cross. This is our holy thing that represents the supreme God. This is Thor's hammer, the supreme God. We're doing it. We're Christians. Because presumably they didn't have any books to tell them what a Christian cross is supposed to look like. Maybe no one knew. Maybe this was what the Christian cross was supposed to look like. And you actually do see the similarity very vaguely to a fish. The tail and it's pointing in one direction, and it's got there's a tail and its head, and anyway. Because a head is a fish is in some ways it can be drawn as a type of cross as well. Despite AI saying Thor is not the cross, but he carries the cross, and by carrying it, by always having the cross, i.e. the hammer, he's carrying it around. He is the cross. Next, he carries his cross. Okay. Another one. So they wore them around their neck. They said, okay, you want to do that? That's fine. There's your Christian cross. That means Thor. That means God, the supreme God, Tiu. The T-shaped. And not only the Vikings, the Slavs as well. Perun, the Slovaks, very similar to Thor. Similar to Thor because Thor was also Tunor, so that's a rearranged way of saying that, sort of. Charon smashed souls with a hammer. Goes on and on. There are no major gods represented by a cross. The cross is, well, see, this is why AI gets it wrong. The cross is a symbol for Jesus in Christianity, while Thor's hammer was used alongside crosses in some historical contexts. It did not represent a specific... Well, clearly it did. Yeah, you can't trust this. So that leads us to the question of what's going on here, because he's carrying two things here, and some have suggested, is it like Moses carrying two stone stela? Look, that's a possibility, depending on what you think a stela is. Is it something like in the Ten Commandments, where it's a tablet written on stone? Or was it something else? In this instance, in Gobeckli Tep, we have a bloke with possibly a magical belt like Thor had. Thor would have had magical gloves and a hammer. He is the hammer, and he's carrying these two things. So what I'm suggesting is, rather than stela, because these are awfully tall and very narrow, more like sticks, not even totem poles, just sticks. is he carrying a cross? Is he carrying himself? And I find that quite interesting, because God has to carry a cross around. He has to carry this Thor's hammer around, which can be used as a hammer. Axe of Perun is the Slav version, and this. So you see, it was with the Slavs. It wasn't just the Germans. This was quite popular in all the regions north and possibly all around where Gobeckli Tepe was. There's the it's One Iron Heritage. It's got funny symbols on it. It's like a staff. It's like a staff, right? So what it is, it's a staff with an axe. So you'd carry two of these. I guess you'd carry one or two. This could be what is being held up. He's holding two axes, possibly. And this was used for ceremonial dancing and stuff. Oh, shall I use this as a pointer? You know, like, yeah. All right. So, and as you see, they look like the Viking ones. Axe amulets made at the same time. Used as a kind of cross in Russia. Let's continue. Here it's a similar thing, but it sort of fades out, so you can't even see what they are. So I wondered, is he holding his rib cage as well? Is the rib cage... And you know what? It could be that too. Because they don't show the axe head on top. In other words, the staves are like the ribs. It's like two ribs. Or some two rib cages. I don't know. That's the answer. I don't know. So again, if you've got the hammer, you're a technology god, and if you're a technology god, you're likely to be basically Thoth, the god of everything that has helped mankind. In other words, the Anunnaki who made mankind, or you can call them whatever you want to call them. You can call them the Aesir, because they're from the Iceland, as the Germans call them. You can call them whatever you want. Another one. The hammer is Mjolnir. There were amulets. Near Eastern gods also are depicted with the hammer or mallet. Sukelis from Gaulish religion. Roman Vulcan has a blacksmith's hammer. Yeah, look, it goes on. And I want to show you something interesting. It's apparent the hammer, or if you want to call it a T-pillar, is associated with a serpent, and it's sort of actually emerging from the serpent's mouth, like it's growing from the serpent's mouth. The world serpent is literally giving birth to this hammer, to this T-pillar. Oh. Holy moly. He's holding the two staves. What is he He's holding the two... It's like the Urfa statue, 8000 BC. But this is from the Eyrarland statue, a statue of a seated figure from 1000 AD that was discovered in Iceland, and he's holding... What the hell is it? What is going on here? Wow. Okay, so it says here, this is Thor, and this looks like the Gobeckli Tepe statues. He's holding his hammer Mjolnir, sculptured although upside down, sculpted in the typically Icelandic cross-lobe shape. It has been suggested the statue is related to a scene from the poetic Edda, forget it, where Thor receives his hammer while seated by grasping it with both hands during the wedding ceremony. See, I just found this now. I'm finding evidence that proves my suspicion's correct. He's holding like a double-handled hammer. So that cross is actually Thor. Another suggestion comes from the archaeologist Christian Eltjern, who has written that it could be the central piece from a set of... Oh, of course it is, a type of chest, based on his similarity... whatever. They don't like talking about the mythology. It's got to be something practical. Mythology doesn't exist if you're an archaeologist. Well, I don't know. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Bow wow. So holding these in front of him, it's like and you know where I've seen that before. Hang on. Okay, you ready? Kalanish, the plan of Kalanish. It's, so I guess Kalanish, I always thought it was a Celtic cross, but I guess it could be a Thor's hammer. And you're supposed to hold it upside down for some reason by the legs. Because that is so damn similar. And that's facing north to what we see here. And that is like the Urfa statue. That is like Göbekli Tepe. And that is Thor, like I've just been saying for the past 2 videos. And now I find this, and they're saying that's Thor. Dr. Koss confirmed. Where were we? There we go. He's holding the double-headed cross. The double-handled cross. Which is Thor's hammer. Unbelievable. Coming out of a snake's mouth. Ah. Now I get it. Hang on. Ready? So the reason it's called Tiwanaku is it's named after Tiu, Deus, or Thor, and he's doing the same thing except you don't see the cross. It's just the 2 snakes in this. But as you see, there's the snake. The cross is coming out of the snake. So either you can represent that cross. Well, he's a cross, isn't he? I mean, just look at him. He's carrying his cross. Again, he's carrying his cross. Yeah, he's baby Jesus, and those are the 2 snakes pointing downwards, and they'd be spitting out another cross, which is, could it be this illustration down here? This complex thing that's been rubbed out. Ooh. Okay, so it's actually it's likely to be 2 snakes that are being held onto, and a cross is coming out of the snake's mouth. So let's get back to Göbekli Tepe. Yeah, it's Stone Age alchemy. Cross emerging from a snake's mouth is not a common mythological image, but likely a modern or alchemical adaptation of an Ouroboros, so it doesn't know much about it. So let's check Göbekli Tepe. So it's basically... So is this supposed to represent the mouth of the snake? And there's crosses emerging from it. Since they seem to like that. They seem to like that a lot, don't they? And we do know these are the mouths of a snake. Because that's what's been suggested in the path. See the book The Silbury Treasure by, I forget his name again. He wrote one on Avebury as well. And I've extended that to Stonehenge, in which I said that the trilithon is trilithons are one jaw, and the Sazens are another jaw. The Sazens were never a circle. It's an archaeological lie. They lie. There were never extra... It's not a circle. It's 2 snakes, 2 rainbow serpents coming together. And in fact, that's also what you see in the belt. It's the Aboriginal symbol at the crossed site. About coming together. Is that what we see here? I don't know. But I suppose it should be. Okay, I hope I've actually discovered that as I was making the video, discovered some things to show what this actually was. So I've actually proven that those pillars are Thor. We've proven that in this video. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thor and Thor's hammer. And he's carrying the cross, which he is. And he's carrying the snakes, which create the cross. Oh. Woo! And it's got to be 2 snakes, because there's 2 rainbow serpents meeting across the landscape, meeting at Göbekli Tepe. How do I stop this thing?